Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood.
Greetings, fellow humans. Well, this is my first ever attempt at making a legitimate YouTube video, so bear with me as I muddle through this. For starters, let's get the intros out of the way. I'm the Biker Scout. And a little background about me, other than the obvious Star Wars reference, I ride a motorcycle full time. But I'm a professional designer and photographer first. I've been using Photoshop since 2.0, is that 1990-ish, so I know my way around a computer and photo editing software. And I just had to make this video in response to the crap that NASA's been feeding us as scientific proofs for the general archives and public domain, when in fact they're employing very amateurish photo retouchers. I'm a stickler for details and an avid pixel peeper, and I'll tell you what, if I was employed by NASA, the fake images would be flawless. There are so many absurd photographic anomalies in their archives, but I'm only going to focus on a couple that have all been released within the last few months here in 2015. So let's get started. Alright, let's go straight to the horse's mouth here and download the image right off of NASA's website. And open it into Photoshop. Okay. Now, one thing that you should know is there are all kinds of different blacks. So, in order to see what's actually black or slightly black, you invert the image. Now, in doing this, you reveal some very interesting characteristics about our perfectly round sphere globe Earth here, which we're told it's an oblate spheroid and not perfectly round. But Photoshop round tool selection marquee thing here will disagree. Now, as I make a selection here, and let me scoot this back on the screen. Okay, I'm not exact size, but it doesn't matter for this because I'll show you why here in a minute. The marquee tool has a very distinct stair-step shape in the pixel definition. And as you can see here, NASA's image, as you toggle around between the feathered edge, that the stair-step matches perfectly with an exact sphere. That means they used Photoshop to delete the background. But they didn't do a very good job. As you can see here, there's a bunch of little random pixel anomalies floating in space. The most obvious that nobody really saw until you invert the image is up here. This is a strip of blue sky cloud that somebody forgot to erase. Now, this is very obvious when you invert the image back. And look at that. That is blue water, people. And it should not be out in space unless this was a retouched image. This is not an official photograph of Earth from 1 million miles away, as they're saying. There's a lot of things about this image that I don't really like in terms of clarity and definition that just can't be taken from a 4 megapixel camera from 1 million miles away. I mean, the detail's astonishingly ridiculous. I mean, you can clearly make out the Central Valley in California. You know, you can see land details. I'm sorry, 4 megapixels from 1 million miles away. I don't know.
Space